Hi, in this video I'll show you how to adjust picture controls for accurate image on Grundig TVs from 2024 lineup. The TV that I've used to analyze colors and picture processing is 43 GIQ 8900B for the European market. For color and grayscale analysis I've used Portrait Displays Calman software, G1 pattern generator and C6 HDR 5000 coloring meter. Let's start. Let's start with the first step, which is to ensure that TV is not in store mode. To do that, let's press Settings button and go to Settings, scroll to System, and in this menu scroll to Store Mode. Make sure it is set to Off. Now let's go back to the input I was using. Let's see which picture modes are available. To access picture menu, you need to press Settings button again and go to Picture this time. And here under Picture mode you will see different options. Right now I'm sending HDR10 signal, so you see HDR10 written next to each picture mode. Based on my measurements, the most accurate is Movie Picture mode, and for Dolby Vision content use either Dolby Vision Bright or Dolby Vision Dark. Grundig has made the following adjustments and options in the menu. If you go to Advanced Settings and enter Filmmaker mode, you will see that you can enable Filmmaker mode from within other picture modes. So now if we go back, you will see that picture mode has changed and there is only one option available. So if you want to disable it, you need to go to Filmmaker mode and disable it right here. You can also enable auto switch so that when TV detects movie content, it will automatically switch to Filmmaker mode. However, if you enable Filmmaker mode, you will lose most of the controls. So if, for example, you want to calibrate the screen and adjust white balance, you won't be able to do it in Filmmaker mode. And then if you want to play games, you can scroll down and simply enable game mode right here for lowest input lag. And if you're using this TV as a monitor, there is a PC mode right here as well. So you enable it, you will lose some of the options, but you will get full color resolution as you can see in movie mode, which by default is the most accurate. So it's actually very conveniently placed in terms of menus and logic within them. Now let's go back to the beginning and see which options we have. Backlight, intensity of LEDs behind the screen. The higher the value, the brighter the image, and vice versa. I like that Grundig placed light sensor option right underneath. So if you want TV to automatically adjust backlight intensity, then you enable light sensor. However, for the most consistent result and best HDR effects, you should disable light sensor and adjust backlight by yourself. Brightness is black level, contrast is white level. There are patterns which you can use to confirm that settings are correctly adjusted. Saturation allows that you adjust intensity of all colors in the color gamut. You can do it with this control. And then there is hue, which is rotating colors from their references, but from my measurements it's best to keep these two values at default. Sharpness I keep at 0 for high quality content. If you want TV to artificially sharpen image, then you can increase this value. You can do it, you see, up to level 20. And then going to advanced settings, here we have color temperature. If you have calibration tools, you need to use user option and then you adjust red, green and blue gains. But if you don't have equipment, then just keep it at warm, which is the most accurate. Next we have digital noise reduction, effective options to reduce noise and film grain in the image. But if you want to see the original image, then keep it turned off. MPEG noise reduction for compression artifacts. You also have different intensities, but usually I keep it turned off. Adaptive luma control, another dynamic control like dynamic contrast. I'm not recommending it, and same goes for local contrast. Filmmaker mode I already covered. Flash tone, different options here, but I prefer to keep it turned off. And then film mode, you can set it to auto. This is for conversion of interlaced to progressive signal, so best to keep it at auto. Using test patterns, I haven't noticed any issue by using it at auto. TV was properly detecting different cadences and displaying it without stuttering or moire effect, so it's working fine. Blue stretch I'm not using, and then you have gamma, which you can adjust. So if you want to make image brighter, then set it like this, but for me the closest to reference was to have gamma at dark for HDR10 signals, but in general I would recommend that you keep it at middle, especially if you don't have calibration equipment to verify the result. These two modes I already covered. The counter is option to reduce posterization and bending in the image, and you also have 3 different intensities which you can use. Next option is MEMC, which everybody knows that this stands for motion estimation, motion compensation. Basically, if you open this menu, you will see options, 3 different intensities for motion interpolation, so for soap opera effect in movies. And you can even enable demo mode, where on left hand side there won't be any interpolation, and on the right you will see how it works. It's good that we have this demo option, and you actually can choose this demo partition where you want to see it. But to see movies without these distracting artifacts which can be generated by this function, I recommend to keep it turned off. This TV has 60 Hz panel, so there is no option to reduce blur for 50 and 60p content, so it's best to keep it turned off. HDMI RGB range, full and limited. This is for signal type. Auto worked fine during my test. And then there is low blue light option, especially if you're using this TV as a monitor during late hours or at night, you might want to use this option. But for critical viewing, for movies, games and so on, best to keep it turned off. Now I also want to show you picture format options. So here under screen, you will see that you can choose different options, and also if you're watching CinemaScope movies with black bars above and below the image, here you have these movie expand options available. So as you saw, this TV has quite limited picture options, and since this unit had this issue of showing oversaturated colors, especially for SDR signals, and there was no way to map the colors correctly, definitely this is not a TV for people who want accurate colors and who want controls over the picture. There are better alternatives on the market. I've already published a full review of this TV, so check links in the description to find out more. And let me know if you own a Grundig TV, what's your experience with it, have you done calibration, and overall how satisfied are you with this brand. That's all for this video. Thank you very much for watching it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel for more content like this, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.